Hey, it's Marcus. Let me share something with you, a story that might leave you reflecting on your own journey. Imagine this. You wake up one morning and something feels off. The world around you is the same, yet nothing feels quite right. The people you once confided in are now distant, like strangers wearing familiar faces. The passions and joys that used to light you up now seem muted, almost foreign. And the places that once felt like home now carry an air of discomfort, as if they belong to someone else. At first, you brush it off. Maybe it's just a bad day, but as time goes on, the feeling lingers. You start searching for a moment, a point in time when it all shifted. But nothing stands out. No dramatic event, no clear reason. Just a slow, almost imperceptible change, like sand slipping through your fingers, one grain at a time, until you look down and realize the beach you stood on is gone. Then the questions start creeping in. When did my life become this endless loop of routines? Was it the first time you traded a dream for convenience? Or maybe when you said just for now to something that became permanent? When did I stop chasing what truly matters? And the biggest question of all, am I even living by my own choices? Or am I just floating along, letting the current take me wherever it wants? We spend so much time rushing to meet expectations, rushing to reach the next milestone, rushing to stay on track. But what track are we even on? Who laid it down, and where is it leading? Have you ever stopped to think about it? To really think about it? Sometimes we don't notice how far we've drifted until we take a moment to pause, to breathe, and to ask ourselves, where am I going? Is it where I want to be? Maybe this is the moment for you to stop and reflect, to look at your life with fresh eyes, to rediscover what excites you, what moves you, and what gives you purpose. It's not always easy, but the best journeys rarely are. The beauty of life is that it's never too late to change direction. But that change starts with a question only you can answer. If you're still here, it means something I said struck a chord. Maybe you felt that drift too. Maybe you've looked at your life and wondered how you got here. If so, let me tell you this, you're not alone. We all go through it at some point. The realization that the life we're living doesn't quite match the life we imagined. And while that thought can feel heavy, it's also the first step towards something greater. But here's the thing, waking up to this truth isn't enough. It's what you do next that matters. You see, we have a tendency to stay in our comfort zones, even when they're no longer comfortable. We convince ourselves that change is too hard, too risky, or too late. So, we stick with what's familiar, even when it's draining us. But deep down, there's a voice, a small, persistent voice that whispers, there's more to life than this. That voice is your compass. It's pointing you towards something better. And while the path forward might not be clear yet, the important thing is to start moving. To take one step, no matter how small, in the direction of what truly matters to you. Maybe it's reconnecting with a dream you've buried. Maybe it's letting go of a toxic relationship or leaving behind a job that's been weighing you down. Or maybe it's as simple as carving out time for yourself, to think, to create, to rediscover the things that make you feel alive. The point is, you have a choice. You don't have to stay stuck in the same patterns. You don't have to settle for a life that feels hollow. You have the power to rewrite your story. It won't be easy. Change rarely is. But every journey starts with a single step. And with each step, you'll find a little more clarity, a little more strength, and a little more of yourself. So here's my challenge to you. Take a moment, right now, to ask yourself the hard questions. What do I really want? What's holding me back? And what's one small thing I can do today to move closer to the life I want? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big. But it has to start somewhere. Because the truth is, the life you're dreaming of isn't as far away as it seems. It's waiting for you, just on the other side of the choices you make today. Thanks for staying with me this far. If this message resonated, if it made you think, or if it inspired you even a little, I hope you'll stick around. Subscribe, join the community, and let's keep exploring life's big questions together. After all, we're all just trying to find our way, and sometimes the best way to do that is together. All right, let's go deeper. If you're still here, it's because something inside you is stirring. Maybe it's curiosity, maybe it's hope, or maybe it's that quiet realization that something in your life needs to change. And that's okay. Recognizing that something is missing isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth. It means you're ready to take a step back and ask yourself the tough questions most people are too scared to face. Let's talk about one of the biggest reasons we stay stuck: fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. It's so easy to let those fears convince us to stay in our lane, to follow the path that feels safe. But here's the truth. The fear isn't going anywhere. It'll always be there, whispering doubts in your ear. The key isn't to get rid of the fear, it's to act despite it. Because on the other side of fear is freedom. Freedom to live a life that feels like yours, not one shaped by other people's expectations. Freedom to wake up each day and know you're moving towards something meaningful. Freedom to stop wondering what if and start living it. But here's the catch. Freedom isn't given. It's earned. It's earned through hard choices, through taking risks, through stepping into the unknown. It's earned by choosing to break out of routines that no longer serve you, even when it's uncomfortable. I know what you might be thinking, but what if I fail? What if I try to change and it doesn't work out? Here's the thing. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every failure teaches you something valuable. Every misstep brings you closer to clarity. Every time you fall, you have the chance to get back up stronger than before. The real failure isn't trying and falling short. The real failure is never trying at all. So ask yourself, what's one thing you've been putting off because you're afraid? Is it chasing a dream, having a difficult conversation, or stepping outside your comfort zone? Whatever it is, I want you to imagine what your life could look like if you stopped letting fear hold you back. It's not about making massive changes overnight. It's about the small, consistent steps that lead to big transformations. It's about choosing to live intentionally, even when it's hard. Because here's the truth, life is short. Too short to waste it on things that don't make you happy. Too short to spend it following a script someone else wrote for you. Too short to settle for good enough when you know you're capable of so much more. So, what's stopping you? Think about that for a moment. Really think about it. The things holding you back might feel like mountains, but more often than not, they're just shadows. Fear, self-doubt, the opinions of others. These things only have power over you if you let them. You're stronger than you think. You're more capable than you realize. And you have the power to rewrite your story, starting right now. This isn't about perfection. It's not about having all the answers. It's about making the choice to take the first step, however small, and trusting yourself to figure out the rest along the way. So, I'll ask you again, where are you going, and is it where you want to be? If not, let today be the day you start changing that. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Subscribe, stay connected, and let's keep having these conversations. Let's support each other as we figure out how to live a life that truly matters. Because you're not just here to exist, you're here to live. Thanks for watching. And if this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more to explore together.